I do shit that I like, that I would do anyway, and I get paid for that. I didn't think about it too much, I'd say. I didn't think about too much of, oh yeah, this is my passion. Even now, I'm mainly say, yeah, I just enjoy it. I just keep on going. It's also important to not be too attached to something, to be ready to lose it as well. Even, do you have a more...
Hola y bienvenidos a un nuevo video. En esta oportunidad voy a hacer un podcast to introduce my guest of today's podcast. He's been a freelancer for the last 5 years, like professional videographer, very self-disciplined, fun person to talk to. His name is Geoffrey. Did I say it right?
That's correct.
Geoffrey Understock. Is it right?
Yes, the French way of saying it. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So let's start with some recent posts that you've been doing on your Instagram, because you're a videographer and you not only do this for a living, but you also, it's your passion, right? So it was like, what was I think the last post you did, you were in Wakachina, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
So
I'm
how was
traveling
it?
in South America. I'm from France, as you mentioned it. So, yeah, traveling through Peru, and now at the moment in Puno.
What would you say in your journey as a freelancer has been like one of the proudest moments you have experienced, that you have with you as like a good memory or like experience?
So what I like and how I did it, actually, in a sense, I did it twice. So I first opened a company. I registered as a freelancer first in France, and I did that when I had my first contract, when I had a first job. So only when I had a job, I would say, yeah, okay, we do it correctly, we do it illegally, and I register as a freelancer, and then we go from there. But so I did once in France first, and then when I arrived in Germany, I also did it. So it's like beginning the adventure, and on how I did it was directly with a project. At least for me, that's like a good way to just have more maybe momentum, or just it's more than, let's say, it's more than just on paper, more than just registered on paper. You already have a project.
I see. So that was something that you would say like it's in your heart because you became like officially a freelancer and got a project to do.
Yeah, I mean, so it's I guess a little victory moment to do that, to yeah. So it's oh yeah, it's possible in a sense. Or even though possible is more like at the end of the year when you see the tax report in a sense, and how much you earn, how much you gave away in general, like expenses, business expenses, and then how much tax you have to pay, and then how much how much you have left at the end.
How did you find the courage to not have a regular job but like do freelancing? What was in your mindset, or how did you approach this opportunity?
So I mean, it's not as a fancy, let's say, as a. It's, I mean, it's an easy way. It just it's very transparently. So I had first job in, it was like just after the school. I mean, after the, let's say, university or private school I was in a job in a real estate company, and I was we say a determined contract. So like a contract 6 months, and then was another 6 months, and at the end of that, it finished, and so I was, anyway, I didn't want to continue with them, so I was unemployed. And with the unemployment, actually, you can, in France at least, yeah, you have the opportunity to start a company or something, like start freelancing. So the good thing is that you start that without risk, in a sense, because just as you're unemployed, so you get money from unemployment, in a sense. Depends, of course, how much you worked before, and there are many things to regulate that. But the idea is that when you do it with them, it's like the money of unemployment. You always have that, in a sense. But if you make money with your own company, in a sense, you just get less and less unemployment money. So it's not as romantic or fancy how I started, but that was in a sense an easy and easy way to start. And then anyway went to Germany, and so in Germany, just in a foreign country, you cannot receive unemployment money anymore. Mm-hmm. Right. So it was, for me, it was anyway like sort of burn the ship. I want to go to another city, to a bigger city. I wanted to go to Berlin, and so I went there, and knowing that I won't have the security of this.
How long did you stay in Germany?
4 years, so in total.
You said you just recently left Berlin too, right? You still you came to South America traveling, but you stayed in Berlin for 4 years, and then
did they move? Yeah.
Yeah, you moved back to France.
For I mean that is, I mean, I'm very lucky for that. I can say I have my home, in a sense, with my parents, and I know that I can come back there if I need to.
Right. So you after that, you said, I think you were telling me about how you found another project in India, right? Right after you moving back to France.
Yeah, I mean, so there is a client I was working with already before, and we had this project, and actually didn't impact the project in at all. Actually, for me to be back in France or to be in Berlin, just a plane ticket that has a different origin. And
how was your experience? Like, that was the first country abroad after going to Berlin, like, that you visited, going to India?
Not exactly. I mean, so it's more, for me, more alone, very different country, let's say. Otherwise, I mean, I had the chance to travel a bit with my parents and with friends, or last year alone as well. But so India is just special, I would say. So that was quite different. But just in general, just a very nice opportunity to be able to go there. Because I need to say that wasn't in my travel list, let's say. That was not on the top of there. I want to go to India, and I need to say
it was for work, but you were able to do tourism as well. After India, how did you decide to, because coming to South America was right after that, right? How did you decide to travel to South America?
So for me, even though, I mean, for example, when I say travel, I am traveling, but I'm more, in a sense, or like, let's say the first idea with traveling was, let's find a place where I can live, where I can settle, where I can live. So the idea was to search for that. And it's actually very nice in nowadays and age. Of course, there are some places where it's harder, but there's quite a bit of choice for many people, and that's very nice. You can actually go to a lot of places. So yeah, for me, South America. I actually had like something like Dubai in mind as well. But let's say because of the business perspective, because I know I heard that it's growing a lot. There's many things happening there, but of course the culture is very different than South America, and maybe it's a bit more fun in South America, I guess.
I see. And so, didn't you have job offers back in Berlin, where you were working for 4 years?
So that's the hard part. I mean, for me to stay on this decision of no, I want to leave Berlin. I want to go out and find another place, because I still receive some demands, some project demands, to often to film an event or interviews or things like that. So people find me on Google, because I did work a bit on my website to place it and to rank it in Google. But of course, I ranked it with Berlin, with a keyword Berlin, and so it's very, let's say, restricted to Berlin. So when people find me, it's usually for a job in Berlin. And now I'm not in Berlin anymore, so
right. Yeah. So you're not doing. So, and how did you find the courage to not? You were making money, you were. Let's say you were living a good life in Berlin. So how is that you wanted to leave Berlin? Just because you wanted to find somewhere else to establish, as you said, or what was it for you that you were like, okay, I'm done with Berlin. I just wanna, I don't know, look for something else, because you were already making a living from something that you like doing. And so was it hard? How did you have the courage to just leave that and start doing something else? Where did that come from?
It's more, I think more personal, and I mean, also one point was saying to me that it's now or almost now or never, meaning just better right now, because I'd say I feel young, relatively young, and with the energy, and I'm ready to struggle with the language, for example, now with Spanish, and also not having, because it has an impact, of course, and having too much of things that sort of keep you in one place. And for example, on my side was being single as well, not having girlfriend was also a point of I'm free to go, in a sense. Further, I would say further than I would have otherwise, and I'm still also freelancing. So at some point I will want to start a company, so to have employees, for example. But now being freelancer is still more movable, or more freer, let's say, more ready to move with less attachment.
It allows you to be more, well, it was as you said, travel and not being attached. To experience, as you said, more countries, and also see which one you like most, because you're looking for a place where you would like to establish, as you said, right?
Yes, but at the same time it was also very interesting because when you travel like that, you meet other people who do the same. Basically, and it's relatively interesting. And I met, for example, in Brazil, a guy doing astrofinance, so more of a blogger, but on astrology and finance. And so he's doing everything remotely, and he's traveling since quite a while. He's from Israel first, but then lived in Spain for like 5 years something, and now since 2 years he's traveling like nonstop. And he was saying, yeah, because that he had the same almost the same problem of I want to find a place where I can save it, and now he's sort of saying that yeah, maybe I'll just keep on traveling forever almost. So it's a I don't know if I'll do that, but it's interesting to hear other people and how other people sort of find solutions for that.
So you also probably hear like the other people's stories, like this guy you just mentioned, made you think, oh, maybe I'll just like try to look for a place and then just keep traveling. Well, not forever, but like just because it's interesting to get to know other cultures until I'll go back to one that I like the most, something like that.
Yes, so I'll say yes, but at the same time, and it's you feel it and you see it very very fast in that when you start to meet people and when you start to make connections, and then you have to go, in a sense. It's always a bit heartbreaking when that happens, because often like you just sort of start to have a relationship, to have like deeper connections, and then you move. And so it's always harder. I mean, you can stay in touch, but it's harder when you're away, and especially if it's only the other person for just a few days, a few weeks, or even 1-2 months. The connection is it's like a beginning. It's always only a beginning, and so I mean we're social creatures, so it's always nice to be with other people, and so I guess that's the biggest thing. I find it sort of interesting, for example, when I traveled. I mean, mainly before now, I don't really ask this question anymore, but so let's say if I would ask this question to people now when I'm traveling, as what do you like about the city you're living in? Usually the answer will be the people that are here. And it can be it can be in India, it can be I've been before to Ukraine or Germany, or France, and anywhere. Usually the people will say people. So it's more like, for example, they stay in a city more because of the people that live there. People they know. Maybe not the whole the city as a whole, but more the group.
I guess I mean it all like sums up in like the connections you make with the people that live there. Because as social creatures we want to belong, or like have a group, like a crew, like a connection with so makes sense. Why were you like curious about going? Well, I guess it sums up the curiosity, but what was for you what was the idea that you got for I want to establish it somewhere else and not in Berlin, where you already had your friends and like your crew, like your people who are in your country? Like, why trying to look somewhere else to live?
I think it's a hard question to answer. More because there's no real a big answer for that. I think everybody sort of wants to go away in some sense.
To leave the countries,
And I mean, it depends on whom, but in general, people want to. It's like adventure and just to to discover something else, and I find that very nice, and many people don't do it because of many different reasons, and I'm doing it in a sense just to say, well, I want to go, so I'm going.
Yeah. How was it for you as a freelancer, like side of working for yourself? Like, what was the mindset that you think was probably like the pillar for doing this? Like, as we talked, um, yeah, like what was your pillar as part of your mindset to do freelancing and like moving out then to travel and doing freelancing?
So at the very beginning, I mean, I sort of still have it in some sense, but I like this little sentence of, I do shit that I like. No, wait, and I do shit that I like, that I would do anyway, and I get paid for that. So the idea of, I mean, honestly, I mean, yeah. So, for example, the very beginning, I mean, that's not very like super professional and high paying, but I did film for a friend's association, let's say. So student association. So I would film their party basically and take photos and all. And so I would get paid. Not of course students, so not a lot, but I would get paid and film, take photos and videos of the party. And so of course I would be partying as well, and so it's just very fun. And that was like moments of I was like, yeah, I mean, I would do it anyway, even without money, and just having this idea in mind. I would still say that in a sense for many projects. I would still say, yeah, I mean, I just like doing it, but at the same time, you cannot afford to do that for free, and it's actually very important to know your value and to not translate, but to convey it to the client, so that he understands as well the value of the work you're doing. It's because it has a value, and you cannot do things for free, and it happens a lot with such creative professions of just but at the same time, that's also almost the spark of you liking what you're doing. So I think that's important.
Of course, yeah, because I think people think that they can get paid for what they like doing, but you find a way. But as you said, you would do it anyway, even without getting paid. So for you, it's like you really love what you do, and so you just found a way to get paid with that. And I think you also told me that you don't feel like it's work that much. It's like I think I asked you like, what do you do in your free time? It's like, or something like that, and you're like, well, yeah, like you said something about your dad, about how he always associated like work and like life. So for you, it's more like working as part of your life. Is more like you do it because you love doing that job, and it's not like you need to rest that much from it, but you look forward to do that.
Yeah, it's on the topic work-life balance that I'm a bit more skeptical on, even though I think it's important, but maybe it's also, it will evolve with time. Maybe that now that I'm a bit more, I'm not more hungry, but like ready for more, without a family, or like when you create a family, you want to have like really more time for your family. But at the moment, I'm really fine with the way I'm doing this work-life balance. Meaning, it's like I work when I have to, I mean, more or less have to, even have to as a freelancer. It's more like you have deadlines, and just need to then be disciplined to respect the deadlines, and it's just always about the clients, and so if the client is happy, you get paid well, and it's fine, and he will come back and everything. So but it's actually nice, and that's what I like about freelancing, is that you have even more control over everything, over your whole life in a sense. And it's about like the time when you work, for whom you work, how much you get paid. Of course, yeah, you can negotiate, and if you want more, then you ask for more. But at the same time, when you have less security, so sometimes you might accept projects that are less interesting, or where you get paid a bit less, but that's you have time for it. So it's all a balance of everything. But I think it's very nice to have this power of what you're doing. You have the direct consequence of it.
What would you say is your balance, like currently these days while traveling? Like, how do you manage the balance of working on traveling and like also taking care of yourself, having time for everything? What's your balance?
So it depends how you travel. So now, for example, I have less projects to do. But usually it's always about a bit the deadline. So for when do you have to finish this? And so that means on my side now, right now, I have a bit less work to do. So I'm traveling more. So traveling more, I mean more tours, for example. And when you do a tour, you're away the whole day, and so you're not working. But otherwise, traveling before, I was, for example, 1.5 months in Buenos Aires, and then almost a month in Brazil, like 3 weeks in Rio. And so there I would, in general, just like you stay a bit longer in one city. I was staying longer in one city, and so I had more time to work. Because you don't do tours every day for 1 month in one city. So I mean, it's like a few days here, and it's also nice. Then you can say, oh, tomorrow is the sun is not shining. Tomorrow is a rainy day, so I'll just more or less stay home or find a co-working space, and we just work.
I need to ask because I want to know about, like, not many people manage to also keep their shape when traveling, because it's hard. So how do you do that? Because I think you're well built. Especially to places that don't have gyms, like, it's like, how do you manage to also work in taking care of you, like,
Well, technically, I mean, it's like there's no excuse for that, and it's like you can always work out, take care of yourself. It's just a bit harder because you don't have a routine when you're traveling. There's no routine at all, and especially now as I'm doing more tours, I'm also now sleeping away just in a place I just don't know nothing. So you have less of routine and sometimes less time. But there's still gyms almost everywhere, and you can go and have a daily pass or something. So if it's about gym or otherwise just in your room, you can do some. And then we saw that, for example, with COVID, when you couldn't go out. Yes, and now in YouTube there are a lot of workouts at home without any equipment. You can still work out, for example, and then eating, that's still a big part.
Yeah.
And
how do you do
that? Just improvise a bit. So it depends on the people, and so I like less and less of eating really fast food, because I digest it less well, so I like it less. But I mean, now I need to say, now in South America it's a bit cheaper than Europe food. So I would also, that's in a sense like a bad point, can be a bad point, is that I go out and eat out. I don't really make food myself here.
Okay.
Like,
Oh, this isn't that more expensive. But yeah, but you can sometimes make food. Yeah.
yeah, but even, I mean, I need to say, like, in Peru or before in Colombia as well. But I guess I haven't done that so much in Argentina, Brazil. But here, like, the menu lunch is super cheap. I mean, for me, it's super cheap.
Right.
So
It
so
is.
it's just like, it's a no-brainer. You just go out and eat, and it's usually fine. It's not so unhealthy, let's say.
Well, as you mentioned, traveling, it's has allowed you to meet so many people, but also you said it's hard to keep in touch with the well, you leave and keep traveling, but in general, like how do you manage to build like a good relationship with friends and family? What are some habits that you could say are good for relationships with family and friends, like your principles, like that you have learned?
I mean, I don't know if I'm so good at that. Because I read a book and actually like it, but I think I don't employ it enough. The book is Never Eat Alone from Keith something. It's Never Eat Alone to the title, and it's actually a very nice book, and it's a lot about networking in general. And so basically, sort of obvious, but it's just like keep in touch. So like you need to follow up, you need to send messages to stay on top of their mind, and I'm not doing that enough, I guess. But at least the big moments of like birthdays or if there's something bad happening in the family or something, just at this moment just send a message or you call. Actually calling is very impactful. But I still, for example, believe let's say that of this when you're happy, you can share happiness. So it's more of the being yourself, like really like at peace, and then you can share it with others. And so I think that's also in a sense a good point, and that's something that can get you close to other people, of just not being too negative.
Probably it would have made sense to ask you this at the beginning, but so you were saying something like how you would get paid for recording or shooting at a party and you would enjoy it. But even before that, how is that you found your passion for video filmmaker, like videographer?
I didn't think about it too much, I'd say. I didn't think about too much of, oh yeah, this is my passion. Even now, as I'm mainly say, yeah, I just enjoy it. I just keep on going. So I don't especially say or like label it. It's more of this like label and big title of this is my passion and hobby, But I guess it is in how it started. On my side, mainly sort of you just have something to film. So for me, at the time, it was a PSP. Maybe you know that, PlayStation, like portable, and then you had little sort of webcam on it, and so I would film first like me doing some skateboard, and and then had another camera, and then I would film some things with friends, and then for school sometimes you had projects, and so I would do a little video, and of course there's like more work involved, and so the teachers would always be super happy to see that, and I would get a good grade. And so just in general, just more and more. And then comes the moment after high school saying, okay, now what do you want to do with your life? What do you want to study? And so I went this path and stayed on it.
How old were you when you had the PSP and you were like recording skateboarding with your friends?
12, 13, I don't know exactly.
Okay, around like
Is it like adolescence? It's not a kid, adolescent, yeah.
What is something that you want to share that you haven't said already? Like probably something that it's something that you would like to say to people that want to, I don't know, pursue their dreams, what would you say?
So, I mean, feels like, yeah, be motivational almost. And like lately, I like the idea of almost what if not, what if, or what, just what if. Not exactly, maybe not exactly what if is also the maybe. Sort of maybe I won't have this project that I want with this client, or maybe I will, or maybe just being, I guess in general, a bit more detached about the outcome. And
like have no expectations.
yeah, I mean, it enables you to be a bit more flexible, to improvise, I guess, a bit more. I like this idea. I don't know. So at times I had many like little mottos in a sense that came, and then I had something else that came, and so for example, I mean, I still find stuff interesting in saying, "What if it was easy?" Saying that to yourself for just everything, you know. Oh, I want to be a freelancer. Yeah, what if it was easy? Because then it just changes a bit your mindset. When you want to learn a new language, what if it was easy? And then maybe you can start doing other things, and so just maybe a bit less tension in your body, in your mind, in everything. But otherwise, and one that I keep, and then I still have a lot is all the way, and so I like this idea of just doing things like completely, even though it's also important to not be too attached to something. So be ready to lose it as well. But still, I like the idea of do the things until the end, or really go all in, and go full out on something.
Wow. Well, that I think that's a very like deep and probably philosophical, but yeah, it's true. It's true. Like I guess like if you put that into as a belief, yeah, what if, or go all in, you will stay out of your like overthinking and like just taking imperfect action.
Okay, enjoy that. Yeah. Even, do you have a motto?
Well, right now, as I think I told you, I just want to do and like try new things and see what I like the most. So it's like for me is taking perfect action. Before I was like too scared to take action. And when I took it, then I got frustrated and didn't manage to go all the way, as you said, like all the way in. So yeah, also probably as people say, go with the flow. As you said, I have no expectations. That way, everything works in a sense. Like if it does, good, and if it doesn't, good. But yeah, it's like right now, I think it's more like do take imperfect action, and that will eventually show you something else and evolve into something else.
Yeah. So start and just get going. I guess it's very important.
Yeah, get going, consistency, persistence. So thank you very much. I love the chat and Geoffrey, everyone. This was like a really amazing talk, and thank you for being in the podcast today. And I hope we can have many more, like invite you again, and also build a beautiful relationship.
Likewise. Thank you, Yvonne, for having me on the show, and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you. Everyone who's been listening, please let me and Geoffrey know what was something that connected with you, what was something that resonated with you, if you learned something new today, or if there was something in the conversation that he said that changed it or shifted your perspective about something. See you on the next one.